So we are in our fourth day of working on our Ancient Civilizations project, and today is going to focus more on some tips, some suggestions, and some details to help you create a really good project. And I've been receiving some emails and some correspondence from you about a couple issues that you were having. And the first issue I was hearing people having was keeping all of their research organized. And a real easy tip to help you is creating something like a graphic organizer. So for instance, in the y-axis, I have all 8 people I'm having you learn about. And here on the x-axis, we have the 5 areas we are researching. And that allows you to keep all of your research in one place. Another concern you were having was struggling with your searches. And I'm going to give you a little tip here. I personally believe Google Advanced Search is a lot better than normal Google, and let me try to convince you why I feel that. So if I go to Google Advanced Search, it looks like a regular Google search, but it has a couple tips that helps you. So for instance, I'm going to type in Mesopotamia. Now I could do that in standard Google and I get that. However, we have any of these words as well to hone in on the specifics. So I could take art, or I could say Mesopotamia customs, or geography, or anything specific to what we're searching for. But the real beautiful thing about Google Advanced Search is here in the file type format. So for instance, let's say you're making a PowerPoint. I can go to file type and format and go to PowerPoint. That means any PowerPoint on Mesopotamia will come up, okay, and that kind of thing. And you can even get a little more involved, play with it a little bit. Let's say a teacher says you only can use a source that is vetted. You can type edu, it's only from a university, or .gov. So that will cover your bases if you ever need to do that. So try using Google Advanced Search. I do believe if you use it once, that you will continue to use it for all of your research needs. I use it to this day when I have to do my academic research. Another tip is that a lot of you go to YouTube University. The 6 months we've had COVID, I've been doing a ton of home improvements, and I have learned on YouTube University. So if you learn well from videos, check it out. There are a lot of really good academic videos on all 8 of these groups. So check that out. If you're struggling with reading or reading's difficult for you, it's okay. Use your ears. There's nothing wrong with using your ears and your eyes at YouTube University. Okay, so those are some tips, and I just want to give you a heads up. Good scale versus bad scale, and I will receive both when I grade these. Now to the right here, this is bad scale. It's peppered in with way too many details. It's not specific to what we're talking about, and this is a cut and paste job. I totally cut and pasted this, and it has a ton of details. There's way too many words. I can see that this is not your work very clearly. Now if you were to give me something like good scale, plain English, something that we all understand. Mesopotamia was in the Middle East, plain English. It relied on the Tigris and Euphrates river system. This was called the Fertile Crescent. So, bad scale, good scale. I'm really looking for good scale. Now, here's a question I've been receiving from a lot of people. How do I know if I'm doing it right? And that's a great question. That's a fair question. So let me try to help you out here in this area. And these are the key words that should be in the mix while researching these people, okay? So with ancient Mesopotamia, you should have a lot of first fill in the blank. They did a lot of things for the first time. Tigris and Euphrates rivers need to be in the mix. The Fertile Crescent should be in the mix. Code of Hammurabi, Ziggurat, this is a ziggurat right here, and cuneiform, which is their form of writing. Those are the words that should be in the mix. With ancient Egypt, I need to see the word Nile, the various kingdoms, Old, Middle, and New, dynasty, pharaoh, hieroglyphics, gods and goddesses, okay, or deities. Deities are the same thing as gods and goddesses. These are the keywords I should see in your research project. The Indus Valley people, I should have Indus River, Sanskrit, which is a language, monsoons, which affected their geography, these huge rains that they had to take care of. Harappa, Mohenjo-Daro, and water. Okay, these are the kings of water, of plumbing, irrigation, moving water. If you don't have water in the mix, you're not doing it right. Ancient China, not modern China. These are the words that should be in there. Dynastic cycle, mandate of heaven, which is related to the dynastic cycle. Veneration of ancestors. It is not worshiping your ancestors. It is being able to remember them and feel that they are always watching you. Tao, which is more of a philosophical, religious sort of thing. Filial piety, that is having devotion to parents, and the Yellow River on a geographic level. These words should be in the mix for ancient China. Now, for the ancient Hebrews or Israelites, and searching online, you're going to see them both. They're synonymous with each other. Monotheism, this idea of one God, related to Judaism, Jewish. It's a religion. Glassmaking on a more practical level, glassmaking. Now, a Sanhedrin is a little more involved. It was the first system of checks and balances in human history. Now, in America, we have judicial, executive, and legislative branches that check each other. System of checks and balances in Sanhedrin, rule of law. People will come and go, laws stay the same. It's this idea that a law is established forever and ever. Now, a lot of times in history, whoever's running the show, these are the rules while I'm alive. They die, new set of rules. Die, new set of rules. Now, if I were to get hit by a car on the way home and you get a new teacher tomorrow, they still have to follow the Clarenceville rules. I'm gone, the law stays the same. Rule of law. The ancient Hittites, you're not going to have a ton of stuff with the ancient Hittites. Metalworking and iron. Okay, they are the kings of metal. Just like Indus Valley were the kings of water, these are kings of metal. A term you might not know is cultural pluralism. Now, the Hittites had 9 different groups of people who lived a different way, but they were all able to live together. Cultural pluralism is a lot of different cultures living together as one. And yes, United States, that's how we operate, or at least we should operate. Okay, ancient Persia. Now, ancient Persia, I know this seems very simplistic, but big. They were massive. And how did they handle such a massive thing? Zoroastrianism, it's a religion, gave us the first notion of good versus evil, like kind of this duality in religion that we still see today. And federalism. Okay, federalism is powers at different levels. So, for instance, if I were teaching you U.S. history or U.S. government, we have federal stuff like our post office and our military. We have state things like my driver's license and my fishing license. And then we have local things like you can only have you can have 3 dogs in Farmington Hills, for instance. Okay. And this federalism was based on these satrapies, which were these, they divided them up into states, and each state had some power, but they had to answer to the big boss. Federalism. Okay, so that is ancient Persia. And then ancient Ethiopia or the Aksum, they're going to be interchangeable. There's not going to be a ton. Of the 8, we know the least amount about these people. But Red Sea should be in the mix. Trade, currency, money. Okay, that's the vibe of this. Okay, so if Indus Valley is water and Hittite is metal, ancient Ethiopia, trade, currency, money, and Christianity, one of the first groups of Christians in human history. Okay. So last slide here, and I'm trusting that you can all put this together. Now, in order to do this, have a strategy, okay? Whether it be that graphic organizer or using Google Advanced Search, or if you're working with people, making sure the labor is divided, that kind of thing. Take advantage of the resources in the way that you learn best. If a one-on-one call with me is best, do it. If YouTube University works best for you, do it. If reading works best for you, do it. We're all different human beings. Learn how you learn best. The correct scale. Not too many details, not too few details. Don't be the cut and paste kid, okay? Earlier I showed you very obvious cut and paste. I can see that and you can see that. Don't be that person. And again, checking whether your project contains those key words would be something that's paramount. Check yourself and say, hey, the words that were here in this PowerPoint and in this video, are they in my project? And if you answer yes, it's great. Now you put all of these things together and you'll have a lot of success, and I'll be happy, you'll be happy, parentals will be happy. I'm looking for happy, okay? I'm here to help you in any way, and I hope this video helped, and I can't wait to see what you all create. So thanks for watching.